not so much what to do coming out of the bye week, but for the second year in a row, you guys are in position to make a playoff run. I'm wondering, as a coach, what takeaways you could use from last year to apply to this year, because obviously it ended on a long losing streak. What do you pull away from that adversity that maybe you could apply to this year?
No, for sure. There's a, there's a lot of things that I look at from an inward standpoint, like what could I have done better from a scheduling standpoint to help our guys stay fresh? What could we have done from a practice standpoint to help our guys stay healthy? That's the big thing. What can we do to stay fresh, excited about playing the game, and stay healthy all at the same time? Some things you have no control over, but so we've been diving into the schedule compared to a year ago. Tried changing things up. We're changing things up moving forward. Nothing drastic, but enough to try to keep our guys both physically, emotionally, and mentally involved, where they don't feel like it's just, oh, here we go again. It's just a long day. It's just trying to make sure we find that balance where we still hit what we're trying to hit from a preparation standpoint, but again, keeping our guys fresh both mentally and physically.
With regard to Zach, obviously last year was very up and down all over the yard for him. And can you just speak to kind of where he is right now compared to those periods of time, when he made those unfortunate comments after the Patriots game and the benchings and all that kind of stuff, and Mike White and the T-shirts and all that. And this is kind of his team now, presumably for the rest of the year, unless Aaron comes back. So, what signs do you see that he is owning that and that that there's a respect level around him amongst his teammates?
I think, I don't want to speak too much for him, but, just empathetically as a human, I think, when the whole world's coming down on you, you're naturally like, you're going to defend yourself, and it's, the difference between last year and this year, I think. And again, it's a lot of things that you guys don't see because you guys aren't at practice. But his execution at practice is so much better than it was at this time a year ago, where I think he knows that he can play this game and he's got inner confidence with himself first. And I think he feels his teammates around him know that he can play football and he can play at a high level, and so he feels the confidence that his teammates have in him also. And because of it, it's very easy to hold yourself accountable when people have your back. That's empathetically speaking from just human nature. And I think he feels that this organization's behind him. I think he feels that the locker room's behind him. I think he feels that the coaching staff is behind him. And then on top of it, I think he sees that he's practicing really well. His teammates see that he's practicing well. And then you get to game day, and I think everyone sees that he's gotten a lot better. He still has a long way to go, but he's incrementally getting better. And I think because of that, knowing that people have his back, I think it's very easy for a person to be able to take accountability when when people have your back.
Just as a follow on that, where would you characterize the coaching staff's trust level is with him? Obviously, because he's performing better, he's looking better in practice. Do you feel like we're getting to the point where maybe the reins are loosened a little bit for them to let it go a little bit, for lack of a better way to put it?
No, I think that trust level started with that Kansas City game. I think from a game plan standpoint, it's been an open book with him, starting with the Kansas City game where it was, all right, let's see what he's got. And now he's proven it. He's proven it week in and week out, and he's doing a really nice job. Now there's defenses dictate where the ball goes and what you can and can't do offensively, but as far as game planning and trying to figure out, we're not trying to hide Zach at all. We're letting him play football, and the play designs and the game plan is one that is for a quarterback that we trust.
Since we last talked to you, you guys obviously made a trade. I'm curious if the emergence of Xavier Gipson kind of changed the plans a little bit, a wide receiver this season, because obviously when you sign an undrafted rookie like that, you don't necessarily expect him to play a huge role, but his role seems to be increasing as the season's gone on.
No, for sure. He's a big reason. He's the major reason. Obviously, he it takes me back. I learned a lesson a long time ago in Seattle. When I was with Pete Carroll, we signed. I think I told you guys the story, but we signed Matt Flynn. If you guys remember that big contract, and he was going to be our quarterback. And then we draft in the 3rd round this kid from Wisconsin named Russell Wilson, and comes out in OTAs and like, wow, that guy's pretty good. That young little quarterback's pretty good, but it's Matt Flynn's football team. And then you get to training camp and it's like, damn, this guy's really good. And next thing you know, he beats out the guy that got all the money, and the rest is history for Russell Wilson. And with McColl's been fantastic. He's a good young man. He's been very positive in the locker room and all that. And he's battling injuries during OTAs and training camp, trying to get himself back up to speed. But in the meantime, while he was trying to get himself back up to speed and being limited, here comes this undrafted rookie you don't expect anything from, but you're like, wow, this guy's pretty good in OTAs. And then in training camp, it's like, man, this guy's really freaking good. And so it's just an opportunity for us to develop a young guy, and nothing against McColl. It's unfortunate, but also excited for him and his opportunity. Thought he did a really good job on that punt return yesterday, but more of a testament to Xavier Gipson. He was able to get some reps because McColl was still kind of recovering through his injury. And he took it and ran with it, and he's doing a heck of a job.
Did you notice anything with film study over this break? Did you notice anything with the red zone issues that kind of caught your eye?
Yeah, obviously with some missed opportunities, there's some things that we could have been better as coaches on. And I'm referring really to the last 2 weeks, because as we've been trying to build it, I'm looking at the last 3 weeks really is kind of the barometer for us from a red zone standpoint. But I thought we were really good versus Kansas City. Denver felt like it just, from a coaching staff standpoint, I felt like we could have been better. And then last week, I felt like we could have had more success. There was a missed opportunity. Won't get into where that missed opportunity was, but we had a couple of penalties also that kicked us out of field goal range, or kicked us out of the red zone to create unmanageable situations. So there's opportunity to be had. Just got to play cleaner football. But like I said, we're close. We're getting to the red zone. That's the positive. Getting it across the goal line. Like I said, one game I felt like we could have been better as a coaching staff. Philadelphia felt like we could have been better in terms of execution and taking advantage of our opportunities. And hopefully this week we can find all those fixes and be a little bit more successful.